Welcome dear children. Welcome to another video session. In this video, we are going to discuss about the summary of Chapter 5, Coal and Petroleum. We use variety of materials for our basic needs. Any substance of value or use, we call them resources. Some of these resources occur in nature, whereas other resources are made by human beings. The resources which occur in nature, we call them natural resources. For example, air, water, soil, etc. And those made by human beings, we call them human-made or man-made resources. Have you ever thought, will these resources get exhausted due to continuous human consumption? Yes, we have learned about exhaustible resources and inexhaustible resources during our interactive sessions. We have also discussed about fossil fuels, and mainly we have discussed three. They are coal, petroleum and natural gas. Let us see the mind map of the chapter. Chapter 5, Coal and Petroleum. Here we have discussed about natural resources. So in the first section of the chapter, we have discussed what are natural resources. Any substance of use or value that occur in nature, they are called natural resources. And based on their availability, natural resources can be classified broadly into two: exhaustible resources and inexhaustible resources. What are exhaustible resources? They are resources that get exhausted due to continuous human consumption. Their availability is limited in nature. For example, fossil fuels. And what are inexhaustible resources? They are present in unlimited quantity in nature, or they are less likely to be exhausted due to human activities. For example, air, water, wind, etc. In the next section of our chapter, we have discussed about fossil fuels. What are fossil fuels? Yes, they are fuels formed from fossils, that is dead remains of plants and animals. We have discussed about mainly three fossil fuels. They are coal, petroleum and natural gas. We will discuss these fossil fuels one by one. First is coal. We have discussed how coal is formed and how the different components in coal are separated. Coal is formed from mainly the dead remains of plants. This dead vegetation, they will get deposited under layers of rocks or soil, and when they are subjected to high temperature and pressure, under the absence of air, it will lead to the formation of the coal. Since coal, it mainly contains carbon, this slow process of conversion of dead vegetation to coal, we also call it carbonization or coalification. Coal consists of different components. The components in coal we can separate using the method of destructive distillation, that is, heating in the absence of air. On destructive distillation of coal, we will get mainly three products. We have seen it during the interactive sessions, that is coke, coal tar and coal gas. We have also discussed their uses. The next important fossil fuel is petroleum. The word petroleum is derived from petra, which means rock, and oleum, that means oil. Petroleum is mainly formed from the dead remains of organisms living in sea. As these organisms die, their bodies get settled on the floors of sea and will eventually covered with layers of sand and clay. When these deposits are subjected to high temperature and pressure in the absence of air, it will slowly lead to the formation of petroleum. Petroleum is mainly a dark oily liquid which is having an unpleasant smell. The components of petroleum, they are mainly hydrocarbons and they can be separated using the process of fractional distillation. The process of separating the components of petroleum, we call it refining, and refining is usually conducted in petroleum refineries. The major components after the fractional distillation of petroleum, they are petroleum gas, petrol, diesel, lubricating oil, paraffin wax, etc. And in the last section of the chapter, we have discussed about natural gas. It is also formed from the dead remains of plants and animals and extracted mainly during the refining of petroleum. Natural gas, it is formed as a layer over the petroleum under the crust of earth. Natural gas, when it is compressed, it forms compressed natural gas or CNG, which is considered as a clean fuel. In the last session of the chapter, we have discussed on the topic how to conserve fossil fuels. We have seen efficient use of energy and uses of non-renewable resources are few of them. Thank you, children. Hope this video helped you to get the summary of chapter 5, coal and petroleum. We'll see you during the interactive sessions. Thank you for watching.